What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Ben Thomas Show. Thanks for coming back. Today, I've got a special one for you. I found another Batman the Animated Series figure, and it's the classic Mr. Freeze from Heart of Ice. I'm so excited. My buddy Dean from Collecting Weekly is the one who found it with the help of his friend, Zach. But they got it to me here in Canada. I love those boys. It's in hand. It's at the Ben Thomas Show. I'm going to unbox it for you. And I'm also going to give you a bit of a brief history on Mr. Freeze once again. So stick around. If you guys like the video, hit the like button. Smash the subscribe if you're new to the channel. And let's get into it.
Remember you, surrounded by winter, forever young, forever beautiful. Rest well, my love. The monster who took you from me will soon learn that revenge is a dish best served cold.
Welcome back, everybody. So I've got another Batman the Animated Series figure to show you. It's Mr. Freeze from the classic episode Heart of Ice, written by Paul Dini for Batman the Animated Series. Now, if you follow my channel, you'll know that I like to give a bit of a brief history on these characters before I unbox them. This is the second figure that I have of Mr. Freeze. The first that I unboxed on the channel a few months ago is actually from the New Adventures of Batman. It's still part of the Batman the Animated Series canon, but this figure specifically and this look to me is by far the most iconic for Mr. Freeze. Now, Victor Freeze was a scientist working at GothCorp. He was married to Nora Freeze, who was diagnosed with a terminal illness, and in order to find a cure in time to save her, Freeze starts experimenting with cryogenics, using GothCorp's funds. When the CEO of GothCorp, Ferris Boyle, learned of Freeze's experiments, he decided to shut them down. Now, Freeze begged for his wife's life, but Boyle broke into his laboratory, destroyed most of the equipment, and kicked Freeze into a batch of chemicals, leaving him to die. Freeze endured, but his physiology was permanently altered. His body no longer could survive on temperatures above 0 degrees Celsius, and so he became the criminal mastermind, Mr. Freeze. He built a cryosuit that kept his body at low temperatures and also tripled his normal strength. He also built a freeze gun to start a criminal campaign against GothCorp and Boyle. And I have to say, this is one of my favorite episodes of Batman the Animated Series of all time. Mostly because you can actually feel for this bad guy, right? Mr. Freeze just wanted to save his terminally ill wife, and because of the circumstances, he's forced into becoming a villain, and you feel for him through the whole episode. If you take anything away from my channel, please do yourself a favor and watch some of the original Batman the Animated Series, especially from season 1 and 2. They're wonderfully, wonderfully written television episodes, and so deep. But let's get to the figure. Now, I would like to thank Dean from Collecting Weekly, as well as his buddy Zach, for finding this figure for me in the States. I'm here in Canada, so finding these figures are actually quite challenging and very costly. And they found me this pristine in-box option. Now, it may be sacrilegious that I take all my figures out, but I like to display them and I have zero intention of ever selling them. Batman the Animated Series for me is one of my favorite shows of all time. And I love having this guy in hand. Look how good this looks. The outfit is fantastic. I love how the costume or the outfit itself hides some of the joints in terms of the figure itself. He feels a little stiff, similar to some of the other Batman Animated Series figures I've had so far. His helmet is of course removable, as you can see here, just like the other Mr. Freeze option I have. And I'm going to show both of these to you in comparison there shortly. The gaskets around his arms are surprisingly spongy. It's interesting, they look exactly like the show. I expected them to feel more like rubber, but they feel like a dense foam almost. I'd be a little bit worried about degradation on these over time, but still, it looks exactly the part. Now, the articulation here isn't bad. You can get the arms up to here, you can bend the knees, you can of course bend the feet. There are feet pegs in the bottom, however, just like some of the previous releases that we've seen so far with these red box versions, does not come with a stand. So if you have a figure stand, you can prop them up, although I would say that this Mr. Freeze has probably the widest foot base of most of the figures from the animated series. They seem like they slendered their feet down kind of slowly over time based on the animation style, whereas this guy seems like he can stand really no problem by himself. Now, you can't really get his arms up over his head much more than you saw there. Now, I always like to show you guys this as well because, of course, this shows some of the other figures in the line. Now, I have the Riddler, number 40. I've really been searching for this Two-Face, but it's just impossibly hard to find. So if any of you guys out in the community find it for me, please let me know in the comments. I've got the Killer Croc, and of course this Mr. Freeze, as well as the Poison Ivy. So I'm doing pretty well. Bane is also one that I'd really like to see. But there's a few. I think it's pretty cool. I do like that Riddler, except that it doesn't fit very well with this particular line, which is interesting. So it's weird that that was part of this kind of series anyways. Now this is the freeze gun that we talk about. It's pretty plain Jane. It's basically just plastic. But I love having it because Mr. Freeze's gun is so iconic, and the new version of the figure that I have from the Batman animated series New Adventures also comes with one, but it's a little updated. Now look at this hand sculpt as well. It's interesting. It fits this gun perfectly. So I wasn't concerned about losing the gun out of the accessory box by pulling him out. And when I stand the figure up here, just on the table, and give him a little spin, it's pretty nice looking. I really do like the colors. It kind of looks like he's wearing Ugg boots, I'm not gonna lie. I think Shauna would probably dig this outfit, but here is what he looks like with the New Adventures, Mr. Freeze. And as you can see, it is an absolute vast difference in the animation style. I'd be curious, which one do you guys prefer? Do you like the kind of darker tone of the New Adventures? Or do you like the classic look on the left with the blue and the gray and the purple? For me, it's a clear win, but I really like having both of these guys in my collection to look at, down at me from above in the shelf. The other thing that may be worthy of noting is that the Matt Reeves film, the second one from the Batman series, may feature a Mr. Freeze. It's been subtly teased. And of course we've seen Arnold Schwarzenegger in the past, but he was quite campy. So I'm looking forward to a possible new version of Mr. Freeze. But I'd also love to hear from you guys in the comments below with regards to these figures or some of the other Batman the Animated Series figures I've previewed so far. Is the toy hunt worth it for you guys? Are you liking these nostalgia kicks as much as I am? Let me know. But also, I hope you're having a great 2023 so far. If you love the Ben Thomas Show, or you enjoy watching the content at least, hit the like button for me if you can. Smash the subscribe if you're new to the channel. We're getting close to 1,000 subscribers, and I appreciate you folks like crazy. I will catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.